Eta is the seventh letter of the Greek alphabet, originally denoting a consonant per hour. Its sound value in the classical Attic dialect of ancient Greek was a long vowel, raised to in Hellenistic Greek, a process known as iotacism. In the system of Greek numerals it has a value of 8. It was derived from the Phoenician letter heth. Letters that arose from eta include the Latin H and the Cyrillic letter. History. Consonant H. The letter shape H was originally used in most Greek dialects to represent the sound per hour, a voiceless glottal fricative. In this function, it was borrowed in the 8th century BC by the Etruscan and other old Italic alphabets, which were based on the Euboean form of the Greek alphabet. This also gave rise to the Latin alphabet with its letter H. Other regional variants of the Greek alphabet, in dialects that still preserved the sound per hour, employed various glyph shapes for consonantal heta side by side with the new vocalic eta for some time. In the southern Italian colonies of Heraclea and Tarentum, the letter shape was reduced to a half heta, lacking the right vertical stem. For this sign later developed the sign for rough breathing aspiratus asper, which brought back the marking of the per hour sound into the standardized post-classical orthography. Dionysius Thrax in the 2nd century BC records that the letter name was still pronounced heta, correctly explaining this irregularity by stating, in the old days the letter eta served to stand for the rough breathing, as it still does with the Romans. Long E. In the East Ionic dialect, however, the sound per hour disappeared by the 6th century BC, and the letter was reused initially to represent a development of a long vowel a, which later merged in East Ionic with instead. In 4003 BC, Athens took over the Ionian spelling system and with it the vocalic use of h. This later became the standard orthography in all of Greece. Attachism. During the time of post-classical Koine Greek, the sound represented by eta was raised and merged with several other formally distinct vowels, a phenomenon called attachism after the new pronunciation of the letter name as eta instead of eta. Iotacism is continued into modern Greek, where the letter name is pronounced and represents the sound I. It shares this function with several other letters and digraphs which are all pronounced alike. This phenomenon at large is called iotacism. Cyrillic script eta was also borrowed with the sound value of into the Cyrillic script, where it gave rise to the Cyrillic letter. Uses. Letter in modern Greek. The letter, pronounced, represents a close front unrounded vowel I. In classical Greek, it represented a long open mid-front unrounded vowel. Symbol uppercase. The uppercase letter eta is used as a symbol in textual criticism for the Alexandrian text type. In chemistry, the letter H as symbol of enthalpy sometimes is said to be a Greek eta, but since enthalpy comes from nu theta alpha lambda pi omicron sigma, which begins in a smooth breathing and epsilon, it is more likely a Latin H for heat. Lowercase. The lowercase letter eta is used as a symbol in thermodynamics, the efficiency of a Carnot heat engine, or packing fraction. Chemistry, the hapticity, or the number of atoms of a ligand attached to one coordination site of the metal in a coordination compound. For example, an allyl group can coordinate to palladium in the eta mode or the eta cubed mode. Optics, the electromagnetic impedance of a medium, or the quantum efficiency of detectors. Particle physics, to represent the eta mesons. Experimental particle physics, eta stands for pseudo-rapidity. Cosmology, eta represents conformal time, dt equals ad eta. Relativity and quantum field theory, eta represents the metric tensor of Minkowski space. Statistics. Eta2 is the partial regression coefficient. Eta is the symbol for the linear predictor of a generalized linear model, and can also be used to denote the median of a population, or thresholding parameter in sparse partial least squares regression. Economics. Eta is the elasticity. Astronomy. The seventh brightest star in a constellation. See by designation. Mathematics. Eta conversion. See lambda calculus. Mathematics. The Dirichlet eta function, Dedekind in data function, and Weierstrass eta function. In category theory, the unit of an adjunction, a monad, is usually denoted eta. Biology. A DNA polymerase found in higher eukaryotes and implicated in translesion synthesis. Neural network backpropagation. Eta stands for the learning rate. Telecommunications. Eta stands for efficiency. Electronics. Eta stands for the ideality factor of a bipolar transistor, and has a value close to 1.000. It appears in contexts where the transistor is used as a temperature-sensing device, e.g., the thermal diode transistor that is embedded within a computer's microprocessor. Power electronics. Eta stands for the efficiency of a power supply, defined as the output power divided by the input power. Atmospheric science. Eta represents absolute atmospheric vorticity. Rheology. Eta represents viscosity. Oceanography. Eta is the measurement of sea level height above or below the mean sea level at that same location. Character encodings. Greek eta, Coptic hate. Mathematical eta. These characters are used only as mathematical symbols. Stylized Greek text should be encoded using the normal Greek letters, with markup and formatting to indicate text style.